Hello everyone, my name is Sasha Bonasin and I'm a psychic medium, and today I'm going to be talking about crystals. I absolutely love crystals. I adore crystals. I would recommend crystals to every single one of you out there. The crystals are probably one of my favorite things in this world. Crystals are absolutely incredible. There's so many of them. There's so many different types of crystals, and the way these amazing crystals work, basically they have its own vibrations. Every single crystal contain and have its own vibrations and its own energy. These vibrations are working with every single one of us in different ways. It all depends what is going on in our lives, how would we like to program our crystals, and what we would like our crystals to do. So it all depends. There are so many different crystals out there for so many different things, and there's so many different vibrations. So it all really depends. Like when you go out there, when you discover your crystals, it's very, very important to make these certain connections with crystals. Sometimes this is what I constantly recommend to my clients. Sometimes you can go to the let's say a certain shop where you can get a certain crystals perhaps, and you might not even know which crystals you need. You might not even know which crystals would be so beneficial for you. And this is the way these amazing vibrations and these amazing energies are so important that crystals actually contain, because in this situation crystals will just attract. Crystals energy is going to attract your energy, and your energy is going to attract that particular crystal, and that particular crystal is the crystal that you need. That particular crystals are always going to be the most beneficial to you, or are going to be extremely beneficial to you. So this is what I always say to my clients. You might not even know which crystals you need, but your crystal will choose you. On another hand, when you need crystals for certain things in your life, like for example if you suffer from stress, or for example if you don't feel well, for example if you can't find that particular love, or if you have problems with the communications, I mean, there are endless possibilities. There are crystals for every single thing that could be going in our lives out there. And that's another way of getting crystals, is just looking for the crystals for the particular things in our lives. And that's also really, 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 really important. And also when it comes to crystals, you can just basically you can have them on your skin, around your neck. You could have a bracelet. You could have maybe a little rock that you can always carry in your pocket with you. You can sometimes put certain crystals underneath your pillow. You can leave them in the bedroom, or for example you can leave certain crystals in the living room, in the living areas where you spend the most of the times. It all depends what you need the crystals for. Like for example, if you get a nice piece of amethyst. Amethysts are absolutely amazing. They're incredible, and they're absolutely brilliant to protect you and to protect us against all sorts of negative energies. For example, that's just one of the things that amethyst actually does. And for example, you can take amethyst and you can just leave it somewhere in your living room, and it just protects your whole house. All that energy just goes throughout the house, and it protects your whole house. Also, you can, maybe if you feel like you should keep it in the bedroom, you can leave your amethyst in the bedroom. It all depends. Like normally rose quartz, it's absolutely brilliant for the bedroom. This is what I would highly recommend, to always have a rose quartz, for example, in the bedroom, because it promotes this amazing positivity, and it promotes calmness, and it helps us to feel much more in touch with ourselves and much calmer. And so it's also, of course, so it's very beneficial before you go to sleep, when we go to rest, when we go to relax. It all depends. If you would like to attract that particular love into your life, you just wear a rose quartz around your neck. If you would like to protect yourself against evil eye and negativities, I mean, you can get for example tiger's eye, or black tourmaline is probably one of the best protectors against negative energies, against evil eyes, against psychic attacks and things like that. Black tourmaline is absolutely amazing, because black tourmaline is so powerful. It just creates this particular shield around your body, and that particular shield, nothing goes through it, no negative energy goes through it, so it just protects you in such an amazing and unique way. So these are just few that I mentioned. There's so many crystals out there, so many stones, and it depends. To some of you, tiger eye, you might connect completely to tiger's eye, and it might protect you more. It depends. They talk to us, they communicate to us in a different way. So if you feel like, oh, tiger eye crystal is for you, then this is the one for you. And then some people will feel more closer to black tourmaline for like a protection. It all depends how we feel, and this is the way the crystals communicate to us. And this is why I find them extremely beneficial, because we can just use crystals for every single thing in this life. So it can help us out quite a lot. It's not only that they look absolutely beautiful, but they are extremely powerful. So, as I said, I've only mentioned just like a few little crystals. There's so many more crystals out there, and it is the beautiful world of crystals. Once you get into it, it's just amazing. Every day you find out something else. Every day you learn something else about crystals. Every day you find a new crystal that you can use for like a certain things, for this particular things. It's just absolutely amazing. As I said, they're absolutely beautiful. But what would I like to say today that is very important? When we get crystals, we have to charge them, because over the time, crystals basically, they can collect lots of negative energy that could have actually be around us. This is the way the crystals protect us. So that's why crystals, they collect this negative energy, big amount of negative energy, and that's why we have to clean the crystals every now and then. I would really highly recommend just to take a little bit of water, and I would just do this like a strictly once a month, like let's say like a little bit of water, and you just put like a sea salt, little bit of sea salt with the water, and you just leave your crystals inside this water. And the salt and water are extremely powerful against all sorts of negative energies, and they're absolutely amazing and very powerful cleansers. So this is why I would really definitely recommend just to use pure salt, sea salt and water, and just put your little crystals inside there. Just leave them 5, 10, 15 minutes. You will know how long to leave them. They don't need to be inside that salty water for too long, and this is just to cleanse them and also to make them ready to recharge them. After that point, it's also extremely important to recharge your crystals. You can recharge your crystals as you can recharge them, like for example, maybe once a month, maybe once a week. I would really definitely highly recommend to charge them once per week. And to charge them, it's basically to get their to re-energize them and to make them more powerful, because when they're charged, and I will explain how to do that, the crystals are basically recharged, and they're again very powerful, because if we don't recharge them and if we don't cleanse them, they're not as powerful. So it's very important. Let me stress, if you get crystals, when you get crystals, always make sure that you recharge them and you cleanse them. And you do that, I would highly recommend to do it on a weekly basis. And this, by doing this, you just make sure that your crystal is always at its best, and it's always really powerful, and it's the best thing to do that. So basically, the way we can charge our crystals, there are a few different ways that I will recommend to you to charge your crystals, which is extremely important. Now, for example, you can charge your crystal, you can leave it on the window ledge, you can leave it on the window ledge the whole day long. I would recommend to use the sunlight. The sun, it's extremely powerful, and it's extremely important, and it's one of the best ways to charge the crystals is just to leave them in the sun for the whole day, and this way that crystal gets re-energized completely and recharged completely. Another way to charge the crystals, you could do it in exactly the same way. Leave it on the window ledge, or leave it in the garden, for example, under the moon, under the full moon. The full moon is extremely powerful. That particular energy is also extremely powerful and also really extremely important, and it's very good to use to recharge your crystals. So you can do it like that. You can leave it under the full moon, which is also very powerful. Also do it all night. Just leave it on the window ledge or in the garden all night. And another way to cleanse, to recharge the crystals also would be to basically just to bury them in the ground. You can literally take your crystals, you can bury them in the ground, you can just cover it with the ground, and you can just leave it there for the whole day. And then after the day, you can just take a crystal out, which is absolutely brilliant. It also recharges the crystals completely. And another way, again, to charge the crystals is just to take it and leave it all day amongst the plants in the garden, amongst the plants. You don't have to bury this time, but you can just leave it amongst the plants, basically, in the garden. And you can do that the whole day. And this is the way as well, the way crystal completely recharges itself. So these are the ways that I would highly recommend how to recharge your crystals. But it's very, very important to recharge them, because if we don't recharge these crystals, they will not be as powerful as they could be. But I would really highly suggest to recharge them once per week, like whatever feels the right way to do it for you. Now, another thing I wanted to stress, and another thing I wanted to say, yes, I just gave you like a few different ways of how you could actually charge your crystals, or how could you actually recharge your crystals. Now it's the same. It is very, very important to follow your own intuition, to follow your own mind, to follow your own feelings. And how do you feel about it? What feels the best to you? And this is just so important when it comes to crystals, because they're so personal, and they're completely personal to us, and they're our own personal, and that work with our own personal energy, and that's why it's really important to actually see what feels the right thing for you to do. Like when you go buy crystals, what I said to you before, like see which crystals you connect the most to. It's really important to follow your own instincts. And it's the same where you want to place them in the house. Do you want to place them in the house? Do you want to carry them around your neck? Just see what feels the right to you. And also, on another hand, when it comes to recharging and charging, I gave you a few different ways of how to recharge the crystals, the few most powerful ways of how to recharge the crystals. And you just see to yourself, you just see it for yourself. What does it feel right to you? What does it feel the best to you? Should you recharge them under the full moon? I like that one personally, for example. Or should you recharge them under the sun? Or should you just bury them in the ground? It all depends what feels to you the best. But it's really, really important to take this on board and just to keep on recharging your crystals. And crystals, they also like when they're taken care of. Thank you very much for watching. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium.